From the very beginning of the congregation, preaching has been an important tradition of the Oblates of Mary Immaculate. We were founded to be preachers of missions among the church in Aix-en-Provence, which had been ravaged by the effects of the French Revolution. Eugene really believed that preaching of missions by good priests who took seriously their own personal formation, prepared well, and knew and understood the people who they were there to re-evangelize, would help to rebuild the church and confidence in the church. Eugene modelled this style of preaching by his very first homily or series of homilies, which he gave in the Church of the Madeleine during Lent in 1813, when he chose to preach to the working class at a time they could attend and in a language they could understand. He chose to preach not in the official language, which at the time liturgically would have been Latin and the homily would have been in French, in the formal language, but he chose to speak to them in Provençal, the local dialect. In an ever diverse church, this remains a challenge for us today. As Oblates, we need to continue to be close to the people we serve and learn to preach in Provençal, the Provençal of today. Modern language and ways in which we meet the needs of the people we're called to serve. The Australian province has made a real serious commitment to ongoing formation, focusing particularly on what it means to be missionaries in a secular world. We believe that we need to constantly understand the context in which we're ministering and working in to really help serve our preaching and our ministry. I think it's important to recognise that we don't preach missions and evangelise the way we used to. That if we have a future in the church in Australia and if we want to be effective re-evangelisers and rebuild the church in Australia and build confidence in the church, we must do it in partnership with the lay people who have the same passion to serve and to preach the good news through the Mazenod charism as we have. We believe that this exciting collaboration between the Oblates of Mary Immaculate and the Mazenod family is important for the church today and for the future. This is how we're going to preach the good news into the future.